We are here with Pranav Bhatia, BBS 2001 to 2004. Hi Pranav, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good with it.
Great. So Pranav, this is the questionnaire, the video questionnaire. So first of all, so you have started Stirring Minds 6 months back.
Yeah.
Could you tell us how did you reach here? How was the journey like from 2004 onwards, I guess?
2004 onwards, it's been 10 years now. It's 2014, so the journey has been 10 years long, and it's been an exciting journey. Like starting from post college, I started my career as equity derivatives trader with JP Capital Services. Dabbled in equity trading for a while. Then got back to some educational test prep ventures that I was involved with while I was in college. I kind of got myself involved with certain startups that were into these BBA test prep, hotel management test prep, and these things. So 3 4 years, I think I was involved with these different startups that were again into education test prep market. So MBA test prep, these kind of things. Then for JP Capital Services only, then I set up something called IIFM, which is International Institute of Financial Markets. There, the idea was that we'll train people on financial markets, and JP would hire them, and they'll then trade for JP. And obviously, these people would be available for other areas that they can choose post their course at IFM. We got started with some fundamental programs, and then moved on to some technical analysis courses, then basically ventured into CFA and CFP programs, became approved education providers by CFP Board India. Then later on, we also then diversified into something called Pratham. Pratham again is BBA, hotel management, law, test prep venture that we started under IFM. Pratham has been doing good recently. I from IFM then moved on. I ventured into something which was totally owned by me, because IFM was not right. It was a venture more financed by JP. So I moved on to something called Zigadu Learning Solutions. So under Zigadu, what we did was we sensed a gap in the market wherein we felt that a lot of these educational colleges, university programs, whatever they're providing to the children, is not something what the industry wants. Right? So whatever is there in the curriculum is probably maybe teaching them on the IT side, C++ or Visual Basic and things like that. But when they kind of come out in the market, they realize that people are talking about Angular JS, they're talking about Ruby on Rails, they're talking about Node.js, which they have not learned. Right, so we approached these colleges, told them that let us study your curriculum, let us study the kind of companies visiting your college, and we'll give you a parallel curriculum. We'll do the training of teachers. We'll send our own teachers, people who are there working as professionals in the market, people who are entrepreneurs. We'll do the training of students. We'll do the curriculum. We'll do e-learning and things like that. So that is something that we got ourselves involved in. That is something that we still do under Zigadu. As a part of our involvement in a lot of universities and colleges, there was a need for us to do e-learning for the students. And when we had to do that, there was a lot of tech requirements from our sides to enable all this. So then I took over a company called Lemon Interactive IT Services Private Limited. This was part of a UK based venture, right, in India, but they had problems managing that company in India, so I took that over, kind of owned it, and then started treating the UK venture more like a client, right, and this became an in-house company that we used to do a lot of e-learning and things like that. Later on, then we just because we wanted to pick up a lot of projects from US, Silicon Valley, I set up something called Lemon Interactive Incorporated in Silicon Valley. It's incorporated in California. So that is where we pick up a lot of tech-based work, and Lemon Interactive IT Services Private Limited happens to be the back end where we do. They have actually changed a lot. At least I would say earlier, even getting an access to investors was difficult. Now at least people are able to get an access to investors, which is a good thing. Getting money finally is still a tough task. But yeah, there are a lot of organizations which are helping people get connected to investors. There are people like us, other incubators, there are different angel networks, whether you call the Indian Angel Network, Mumbai Angels, and all these other bodies which are kind of helping the startups. So investments are happening. I think right now, particularly, people are waiting for the political scene in the country to get a little bit more stable. At least some of the investors that I interacted with, they were saying that at least post the political system becoming more stable, post the elections, there will be still more money flowing in. But the good thing is like even a lot of international investors are looking at picking up good ideas here in India. In fact, we have got requirements from so many venture capitalists out there in US to kind of screen some good ideas. We have hosted a lot of VCs here at Stirring Minds. Lately, the other day, uh, Payman Hazarika was here. He's director of global investments for Grey Ghost Ventures. They were here to kind of screen some startups. They're looking at investing in developing economies. So a lot of venture capitalists are looking at screening good startups. But again, the problem is startups need to know the exact reasons why they need funding, right? Because it's seeking funding is also becoming to be very honest, at times people think that if they can secure funding, they are on the right path, right? But then that's not really true. At the end of the day, funding also has to be taken for the right reasons, right? Because a lot of times that's not happening. So I think there's a little more there's a scope for a little more educating the Indian startup ecosystem, right? Because the startup ecosystem in India is not that educated, right? So we are also trying to bridge the gap a little bit by connecting the Indian ecosystem to the one at the valley, so that at least people are more aware about how to go about pitching to investors and what to look for before seeking investments. See, basically, investors also want you to first validate the model,
Right.
and then they'll invest, right? So it's not about you just come up with something. And see, if you're a Mark Zuckerberg and if you come up with something on paper, then people would fund you, right? But then the point is that if you're not a Mark Zuckerberg, then you have to prove yourself first in the market, and then people would invest not to get you started but to expand.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, so that is what the key area is.
Right. Well, that's where angels come in.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
would
yeah.
invest in
Yeah, yeah.
ideas.
So in fact, yeah, angels would invest in people starting up, but to be very, very honest, at least the Indian investing scenario is that a lot of Lala investors would come into the picture and invest in people starting up. Angels are also a little bit cautious now.
Yeah. And that's a nightmare.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So yeah, Lala investors coming in investing in a startup.
Yeah,
Yeah, at
they're-
times it's a nightmare.
Yeah. Okay, so you are doing a lot of things. So how do you make sense of your life from going to from one startup to starting another thing to setting up a cafe to
Yeah, yeah.
so many things.
Yeah, yeah. So I think it's about who you are, right? So I feel that I enjoy creating things more. Like, so from college time onwards, why I didn't want to work in a structured corporate environment is because there was little opportunity for me to create things. So when I enjoy creating things, beyond a point when a startup or a venture is more on an auto mode, then I need something else to
Okay.
involve myself into, right? So that is why involvement into so many things. But the good part is with studying minds, I get an opportunity to involve myself in so many other people's ventures and when they are starting up. So at least that is keeping me preoccupied in so many different areas, and that is kind of becoming a merging point of everything that I've been doing, right? So from tech to education to startups. Yeah.
I guess that's one of the reasons, the major reason why you started studying.
Yeah, so
Mines.
one of the major reasons why I started studying mines was because over a period of time I found myself involved in kind of discussing startup ideas, meeting different startups, and when it was happening naturally, then I thought that let's give a professional shape to it, right? And so it's again doing something that you love, right?
Great, right? Uh, any advice to the budding startups and the entrepreneurs, maybe students, maybe some alumni who are thinking of starting out something?
So I would say, like while students are there in college, it's very important to involve them since we're different startups. Kind of go out and venture and work in different startups. Uh, if not startups, working in structured corporate companies, the idea is to get out of that theoretical mode and actually see what is happening outside. Because when I interact with a lot of students in colleges, I figure out that they have a hazard different ideas that can possibly be implemented. But when they face the reality, then things are a lot different, right? So it's important to know the reality and then simultaneously then think of practical solutions, right? So that is one thing that I would say to students in colleges. And apart from that, people who are already out, people who want to start up, I would say that uh, actually it's very important for a person to check out whether that person is made to be an entrepreneur or not,
Okay.
right? Because I somehow feel that apart from learning the tricks of the trade, right, which is entrepreneurship or whatever, there are some people who have I would say it's a trait which is also inborn, right? So it's not something that everybody can be an entrepreneur because at times some people are good at managing a a single aspect of a bigger thing, right? And there are some other people who would want to manage everything, right? So an entrepreneur would somewhere or the other would get involved into managing everything initially,
Right.
and then later on give the best parts to different people, right? As in
Different.
give different parts
So
to people who can manage it best, right? So I would say that it's very important to first understand what kind of a person you are, whether
okay.
you are the guy who can again solve, and then comes the part where you need to see what problem are you solving, why
Right.
you are the best person to solve it, and all those kind of things. So about that.
Okay. So last question.
Yeah, yeah.
Anything that stays with you from college? 10
Well,
years.
yeah, yeah, a lot of things. Yeah, so I think college was one of the best times of our lives, right? So now when we look back, I think we all want to get back to college. But then, yeah, I think it's not just one thing that I can pinpoint. The friends that I made, they are the most dear friends even today, right? Yeah, it's about that experience, right? So the college has been an experience. If honestly speaking, I would want to relive those days, right? So in fact, I don't know, I would want to get back to college again, sit in those classes, attend lectures, go out with friends the same way, roam around in CP with without any thought in your head, right? Because those are the things that you miss while you are in the business world, right? Because those free days are the best days of our life, right? So I think there should be like we have those alumni dinners and those things. I think there should be some kind of an event where people kind of get back to college and have to kind of go through the same routine that they went through, right, while they were as a part of the college. I'll be happy to write those uh, small unit tests and giving those examinations and those things. I think that time it looked a lot worse, right? But then those were the best days, yeah.
Right. Maybe we can make something happen.
Yeah, yeah.
Some
So
things
I'll
of
be very
those.
happy to kind of visit back to college with my friends, sit in those benches,
Right, right,
and
right.
yeah, yeah. So do all that stuff that we did.
Great. It was very nice talking to you, and
My pleasure.
hopefully we'll see you again on some physical event, maybe in the college or outside. Chalo,
I'll be
thank
there.
you. Yeah, thank you very
Most
much.
welcome.
Bye.